Many years ago, where the current mansion stands, there was once a monastery. The monks transcribed the stories of the deceased so that their souls would not vanish into oblivion. Their holy books were called books of those who no longer speak. For the monks, death was not the end. They believed that memory is a form of eternal life and oblivion is the worst of curses. That's why they wrote even when the ink ran out. But one day the monastery burst into flames. Fire soared above the domes, the roof caught fire, and the wind carried scorching sheets through the monastery. Monks ran through the corridors, books fell into ashes, turning into smoke and whispers. In the library, the fire consumed pages faster than a prayer could be said. The abbot, seeing the flames devour the pages, uttered a final incantation. Let all that is unwritten find a new page. Let the walls become parchment and the stone ink. The fire did not destroy the monastery. It was absorbed into the ground. 3 centuries later, architect Albert Hallow built a mansion on this site. He believed that memory could be woven into architecture. In every brick, he sealed a scroll with the name of the deceased so the walls would remember. When the construction was completed, he said,
"This house will stand as long as someone tells about it."
My great-great-grandfather served the architect. He was also a butler. That's where the curse of our family began. Butler.
Yes, my lord.
At first, everything was calm. A light breeze rustled the leaves of the alley, the sun reflected in the window panes, and when the sun disappeared beyond the horizon, night fell, and the house ceased to be just a house. His shadows began to move, and the silence resonated with hundreds of whispers. They called not by name, but by memory. It seemed the walls were breathing, and around every corner stood someone who had been waiting too long to be heard. Albert began to lose his mind. He was delirious, whispering that the house needed servants, hands to move.
The house speaks to me.
His last entry read, "The house builds itself. I only drew its first line."
They speak to me. The house calls. I served you. Now I will serve the house.
My great-great-grandfather, the butler, seeing his master go mad and hear voices, tried to save him and took a vow of loyalty to the house to calm the walls. The oath went like this.
If this house needs hands, let them be mine and my children's hands. As long as the house stands, we will serve.
Thus, our family became its breath, and the house became our curse. After that, the house stood in silence for 100 years. The house remembered everything, every word of the oath, every plea, every betrayal, and now it awakens again. The wheels of the carriage cut the ground, mist swirls over the road, and the horses, as if sensing a call, reluctantly pull the carriage forward to where no doors have been opened for 100 years. The house awaits new guests. The Blackstone family appeared on the doorstep. Lady Rowena's son, Thomas Blackstone, the only heir, was peculiar from childhood. He talked to himself and often disappeared into the mirrored corridors. The servants whispered that he could hear the house. "Hello, are you here? Please, talk to me. I know you're here." After his father's death, his mother became even stricter and more withdrawn, and Thomas more obsessed. He often repeated, "Mother says the house is asleep, but I know it wants to eat." Rowena believed that the silence of the house was the key to order. Thomas took it literally. In the evening, when Lady Rowena hosted a reception, the house seemed to come alive. The corridors filled with light. The candles burned steadily, as if the house itself straightened up to welcome the guests. The servants bustled about, checking every dish, every candlestick. No one noticed how the house listened to them in the pauses between toasts, in the crackling of the firewood in the fireplace. The house likes it when people live, eat, and breathe here again. But the house does not like it when they leave. At that time, no one knew that this evening would be the last for everyone sitting at that table. Thomas behaved calmly. He watched the guests and often smiled. No one knew what he was up to. Thomas carefully mixed poison into the glasses of all the guests, including his mother's. No one understood what happened. The poison was odorless, tasteless. In a few seconds, laughter and music turned into whispers and wheezing.
All the people died.
He did not want to kill his mother. He wanted to feed the house so that the silence would become eternal. In his opinion, the house demanded a sacrifice. Now, he is satisfied. Then Thomas smiled and went to the 9th hall, from which he never returned. After this incident, the mansion was sealed for many years. Time slowly seeped through the cracks in the windows, like sand from broken clocks. Dust settled on the walls. Cobwebs wrapped the corridors, and even light forgot the way inside. The house breathed silence, as if waiting for those who would dare to awaken it again. Then, the house was sold to a new family. They felt as if the house was alive. But they didn't know yet that in the mirror of the 9th hall, the silhouette of that very young man sometimes appears, now with a glass of wine, whispering, "Shh." Mom is sleeping. She became the one whose soul did not leave because the house has long been writing her story. What is the 9th hall, you ask? After all, the house has 8 halls on the plans. At night, when the clock strikes the 9th hour, the 9th hall appears, a reflection of the others. Ghosts live there. Anyone who has ever been in the house, every resident has a double. If they meet, one disappears. This is how the house balances between memory and oblivion. My ancestors, and now I, and then my son record the history of the families who come to live in this house. I am the cursed observer, the voice, the keeper of secrets, who lives in hope that he will be released someday. But here I have told you how it all began, And the house still stands. It awaits new residents, and it seems someone is coming again. If you want to hear the story of the next family, subscribe and maybe the house will let you in again. Leave a trace, like, or comment. That way, the house will understand that you are ready to hear the next story.